We're back in Ibiza. It's a little bit too early for the party season and too early for the searing heat of summer, but the harbour is full of millionaires' yachts alongside the fishermen's traditional yahoots. And of course Ibiza, the third largest of the Balearic Islands, that includes Menorca and Mallorca, and the fact that it has some 57 beaches, all pounded with 10 hours of sunshine every single day, in addition to the world-renowned music scene. This is an island that attracts some 6 million tourists every single year. And it's one of those locations where you can easily combine business and pleasure. And why not combine a sporting event with a holiday? Roll them into one. And that's exactly what's happening this weekend. Francisco Larrey, the event organizer, saying that this event really has grown internationally more than anything else. This year, 74% of the entrants are from abroad. Italy, France, the United States even have come to run in the Ibiza Marathon. And what he hopes is that the event continues to grow and really becomes the opening to the season for the marathon runners and the party goers. Now, the committee have worked hard to ensure that this event is inclusive above all else. They want individuals, but they want the families as well. They want the pros, the plodders, they want the regular marathon runners, and of course the first timers. And they know this involves creating a festival feeling. And that, of course, involves attracting some of the big names. 3 Africans have flown in, especially for this event. Eliud Kibet too, probably the fastest from Kenya. And he has certainly come to win the obligatory tour of the town, and a few selfies from the stars of the show. Hopefully they'll get some local competition as well. Well, registration, a key part of any marathon, and the retailers are here as well. A little bit too late to be buying new kit, but there's something about a big event where you just can't resist the odd purchase. One thing interesting with the start sheet is it is just about 50-50 in terms of men and women. I think the split comes in at 52-48 in favour of the men, but more and more women getting involved, which is a great thing. Carmen Ferrer saying this is really a sports party. This year, the family and the kids are much more important than they have been in the past. And we're going to start the whole festival off with the kids event. 4 different distances of races for all the different age groups, ranging from 250 metres up to the full kilometre. Certainly long enough to get out of breath, but short enough to leave them wanting more. And this, every bit as competitive as the main event is likely to be. And a really nice touch that every single one of them wearing number 1. Yeah, 1 or 2 struggling to keep their line, 1 or 2 struggling to keep their feet. But the fact that so many involved, certainly a good sign for the future of this running festival in Ibiza. And of course the obligatory medal, one of many. Well, in the morning everything seems calm and the egrets going about their daily business. In the evening it's all go for the runners. A late start, much later than usual for a marathon, and the organisers wanting the athletes to see the island at its very best and wanting good light for the photographers. The race starting in Ibiza and then finishing in Santa Eulalia. So a point-to-point race, and actually not as flat as many marathons. They'll be climbing up to just around 100 metres elevation, having started at sea level. Big smiles all round. Big stretches for a few, not the many. Some have come a long way. And although this is the first marathon of the season for many, not for all.
I'm actually doing a world record, trying to run as many marathons as possible in 1 year. This is number 34 already. I started 7 months ago, and I'm just in the middle of my journey.
Well, the world record stands at 239, so he's got a way to go in the remaining 5 months.
Nos hemos venido aquí con la intención, primero, de pasarlo bien, de hacerlo en pareja.
We came here with the intention of having a good time and doing this race as a couple. He did the marathon last year, but he's looking forward to enjoying the relay event this year. Both of the athletes in each relay running 21 kilometres. Still a pretty substantial challenge.
I've been to Ibiza before, but it's my first marathon. I chose Ibiza because it's the most beautiful place.
Not many are going to argue with that.
Molto bene.
Very nice, he says. I'll be coming back next year. That is just what the organisers want to hear. The pace setters are here as well. This gentleman saying his role and that of his teammates is to make sure that everyone runs the time that they want to run. The paces that we see in all big marathons nowadays. And of course the balloons an indication of where they are. Last minute preparations, and it wouldn't be an Ibiza marathon without a little bit of music on the way. There will be plenty of that and some good dance troupes out there as well. The top athletes getting the front row, a little advantage there. Martin Sheriut wearing bib number 2. We've got Belanesh Gurmu, there she is from Ethiopia, the first Ethiopian runner to race here in Ibiza, and she's doing her first ever marathon, but she's got a pretty sharp half, looking for a time of around 2 hours 30. So they're underway. 42.195 kilometres the distance, and as I say, a couple of stiff climbs. 12 to 13 kilometres looks very tough indeed, and then again they start climbing at 13 all the way up to 16 Ks. Once they get to 20, they reap the benefits of that, and it's all downhill back towards the coast, and the finish in Santa Eulalia. And Kibet too is expected to be first there.
I prepared for this for like 3 months ago, so I'm ready for it. If the weather will favor me, time will come.
Well, they've started pretty hard, running at 3:10 kilometre pace, and the two Kenyans side by side, as the organisers were hoping. But on her own already is Belanesh Gurmu, and that's going to be a long, long day for her. Antonio Colomar looking serious. The 4:30 pacers, they're going to be finishing at dusk, and those who take longer could be finishing in the dark with this afternoon start here in Ibiza. The heat of the day has gone, but as you can see from the fauna and the trees, the wind is significant. I think that's going to put pay to a lot of attempts at a PB. Gurmu looking very, very smooth. A reminder, she has not run a marathon before, so pacing is going to be an issue for her. The entertainment, such an important part of raising the spirits of the masses. Won't affect these two guys. Martin Sheriut, 34-year-old, still there.
This is my second marathon running in Europe. Last time I ran in Brescia, Italy. So this time I come here to try to beat my time.
Not to be confused with Vivian Sheriut, the winner of the London Marathon. And still the pace at around 2:12, 2:13, somewhere around there. The wind will certainly affect their splits as they go around the course. Well, judging by the faces, just about everyone out there is enjoying the occasion, and that's what it's about for many. 39 minutes on the clock at the moment, and that still holds to the 2:10, 2:11 as they approach the halfway stage. Huge range of ages. If you keep running, you can keep running. 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s, even a few 80-year-olds here. Temperatures at this time of year, the average around 20 degrees, as it is for, what, 8-9 months of the year. There's Gurmu, who has not had any company since she went past the 1 kilometre marker. Well, this is showing really good focus. Her form looks as good as it has at any stage of the race. Well, if they keep that going for 4 hours, I think they deserve a medal as well. Lots of people going for world records. I'm not sure what the record for the highest heels on a marathon is. Will be something ridiculous. And through the halfway stage now, wearing bib 1 is Elliot Kibet 2. Now, he's only run one marathon in Spain. He entered the race in Malaga, and with 50 meters to go, he collapsed. He was out cold, fainted, and when he came to, crawled across the line. It dropped from second down into fourth position, and he still ran a 2:11. So he is capable of times around the 2:10 mark. Gurmu, well, we don't know. She's not run a marathon before, but on this sort of form, she's looking at around 2 hours 30, which is very, very impressive. Francisco Larey telling us that they've introduced a new event this year, the relay. Both athletes running a half marathon, so 2 by 21k, and a really good concept. It's proved very popular, and he's hoping that next year it takes off. So a significant challenge for both runners, and really suits those who run 10, 12, 15Ks at the most. They know they can come and be competitive without any risk of injury. And I think this is a concept that might grow and grow. They run the 21st kilometre together, and then they should, provided they're both in a fit state, join up at the finish as well. So most of the relay athletes have exchanged. The leaders in the marathon are well through the halfway stage. Most of the tough work has been done as they head back down towards the coast and the finish. Welcome back to Ibiza. We're over halfway through the 2019 Ibiza Marathon, and perfect conditions for running in terms of temperature. The 12-kilometre runners preparing for their effort. It's going to be very, very fast. It's a flat course, and as a result has attracted some pretty slick runners. Plenty international runners as well. There's one of them, Gemma Martin, one of the favourites for the women's race, wearing 1022. And lots of locals entered in the 12K. In terms of the men, Otman Burras from Morocco, probably the favourite. He's over on the far side, wearing 2380. And be interesting to see how he paces this. And in fact, already a leading group of 4. I think it's fair to say our winner is going to come from that group. Burras is there, Guirado is there, Echeverria is there as well, and they're all capable of running sub 40 minutes. Well, it's a spectacular start through Punta Arabi. And interesting to see that 1,300 athletes, almost twice as many as any of the other events, going for the 12K. And here's the pace at the start. What are we running? It's about 3:10, 3:11 per kilometre at the moment. Out on her own in the women's, Gemma Martin, as expected, establishing a lead of about 50 metres over the next best woman at the moment, but I expect that to grow rapidly as we go through the halfway stage. In the marathon, 1:42.36 on the clock, and for the first time, Kibet has the road to himself. He's got a lead of 100 metres or so over his Kenyan teammate. He pulled clear on the second long climb on this course, and he went through the half marathon in 1:07, so we're not likely to bet a 2:14 today. That's outside his PB, but it's windier and it's hillier than the courses he's raced before. William Aviero, he's ahead of the Pole Lukic at the moment, but they're both trailing Belenesh Gurmu, who is the fastest woman and third overall in the marathon. She's having a tremendous day. Here's Carmen Ferrer again saying one of the outstanding features of the race is the fact that you do race in the afternoon, leaving a city that's a World Heritage Site. You run through a fantastic natural environment along the sea before you meet Santa Eulalia, where the finish is, and added to that they have the 3 different distances that you can race. So she's very, very happy that they're on the right lines for growing this event in Ibiza. The rock bands, the DJs, every couple of kilometres there's a little bit of entertainment laid on, and that's what many of the competitors will remember. Put a little bit of spring in your step, and with 10k to go, that's what they need. The 12k runners, a sharper pace as you'd expect. We're down a 3, and it does look as though Echeverria, who's at the back of that group of 3, the shoulders tightening a little bit higher than they were at the start, so he looks as though he's struggling. Certainly not the case for Gemma Martin. She's now lying in 5th place overall in the race. She's having a brilliant performance out there, and certainly is going to be the first woman to finish. Now the pace heats up as they sense the last couple of kilometres approaching, and we're down to 2, Boras and Guirado fighting it out in the 12k. This is Uri Sabat saying he thinks they found the perfect middle ground, a race with people from all over the world, and then as soon as the evening comes they can enjoy the nightlife that Ibiza has to offer. Well, no doubt some of these runners will be looking forward to that. Others, I suspect, might be going straight to bed, put their feet up to recover. Mile upon mile, and this is where the training starts to pay off. Those who haven't done it, well, they really are going to suffer in the last 10k. Kibet 2, who remember collapsed at the finish of the Malaga Marathon. Is that going through his mind? I'm not sure it will be. He's on his own, he's setting a comfortable pace. The wind, the conditions we've talked about, but he hasn't had company for the last 7-8 kilometres, and I think that's going to affect his attempt to beat his PB, which is around 2:11, and by my reckoning he's a couple of minutes outside that already, and he's running out of time to put that right. Punta Arabi, beautiful setting. Plenty of swish accommodation. Back in 2007, the local government saying that all new hotels had to be 5-star. And as the sun goes down, the photographers coming out, they know this is when they're going to get their best shots of the event, and they've saved the best till last in terms of scenery. A finish along the coast into Santa Eulalia.
Hemos diseñado un proyecto ya hace 3 años.
Francisco Larey saying they designed this concept 3 years ago, and he thinks it's the only place in the world where you can race at sunset on a Saturday evening and later have the official party in one of the prime clubs, in one of the prime clubbing islands in the world. A great combination of music, food, sport, tourism, the perfect combination, he says. Well, the temperature will be dropping a little, but for the leaders, it doesn't matter. 195 metres to go for Kibet 2, who's going to take the title this year. He's not got his PB, but he has got a course record here in Ibiza. He came as the favourite, and he's shown us why. Second place to Martin Chariot, well inside his PB, less than 2 minutes behind the winner, Elliot Kibet 2.
It was nice, but there was a lot of hills in the roads and a lot of wind.
And unless things have changed, we're expecting to see Balanesh Gurmu soon, but this is the leader and looks as though he's going to be the winner of the 12K, Otman Buras. He set a really good pace, 38.38, the official finishing time. Adrian Garado losing touch with around 1.5 kilometers to go. Echeverria coming in third. He hung in there for a long time.
Super, me encanta la carrera. Llevo 3 años seguida corriendo esta carrera.
Buras saying, super, he loves the race. He's been running this race for the last 3 years, and he thinks it's a brilliant circuit and certainly the best route in Ibiza. Gemma Martin, it's been a long, lonely run for her, but she doesn't look to have had any trouble whatsoever. And that's a very good time. 6th to finish overall, 43.20. This is Martin. She said she felt pretty good from the beginning. Went to kilometre 2 with the rest of the women and then decided to try and make a leap from the women's group to the men's, and found herself on her own, but she's really enjoyed it and encourages everyone to come and try the Ibiza Marathon, or the Ibiza 12K as she entered. And again, that's the most popular of the events here, over 1,500 runners in the 12K. Balanesh Gurmu, solid run from her first ever marathon, and she's clocked 2:34.30. Well, that's quite impressive. No real competition. Sarah Flanagan was in second place in the women. She's won the Masters event and produced a very, very solid time. The second fastest woman overall.
It was really tough, but it was really good fun. Really good fun. Really well organised and really well covered. It was really good fun. I really enjoyed it.
And here come the winning team in the relay event.
Fun to race this type of race as a relay, and it's really enjoyable to finish together, and it was great experience.
Yeah, something different to share it together.
Well, we saw some fantastic performances in the 12K and the marathon, but the 2x21K relay certainly seems to have encapsulated the spirit of running and, of course, the spirit of Ibiza. Friends, brothers, partners, all getting it together. A rare opportunity to team up in an event like this. Both competing, both suffering, both supporting, and both celebrating, I hope, at the end of a great day of running. And a chance, of course, to enjoy what Ibiza is most famous for, its music.